Hey guys, welcome to the Art Occultist. My name is Elisa and I'm a professional tarot reader, spiritual practitioner, and visual artist. On this channel, I serve as an oracle for the great titaness Hekate, and today we are going to do another channeled messages from her as a part of my ongoing series, Tea with Hekate. Today for our reading, I'm using a new deck, the Uncommon Tarot. I just got this a few weeks ago and this is my very first reading with this deck. So it's also a test drive to see how Hekate feels about it, etc. So I hope that you have been well, that everything's good wherever you are in the world. And yeah. I'm just giving a good shuffle. Okay. Hekate. 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 Please step forward and share your wisdom and guidance with all of us today. Hekate. 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 Okay. Let's cut the deck. The first card is going to indicate the theme or the current energy that Hekate wants us to explore. And here we have this card. This is the King of Swords. So Hekate very much wants to speak to us about the fact that we need to be masters of our thoughts. We need to learn how to be in control of how we think. And she is saying that it's really valuable if we as a collective learn how to use our rational thinking and not be led astray by thoughts, ideas, and thought patterns that are being fed to us. And in fact, she is encouraging us to step on and actually think for ourselves and really master our thoughts and the domain of our minds, and as well as how we communicate, how we convey our feelings, our external and internal experiences through our words. What words do we use? How we portray ourselves inside of our own psyche, but also externally. So this is the theme of the reading. The second card is going to speak about challenges and blind spots. Here we have this card. This is the Chariot. Yeah, it's the Chariot card. So we are being blinded by the constant need to prove ourselves. That's why we cannot take control of our minds, our thoughts, and the stories that we tell to ourselves internally, but also the stories that we manifest by how we convey ourselves in the external reality, by how we look, how we move, how we speak, etc. So this whole thing is being challenged challenging for us because of our constant need to prove ourselves and to be constantly on the go, constantly doing without any actual meaningful time of reflection upon why we are actually doing those things, what's the meaning behind that, etc. The next card is going to speak about what Hekate is asking us to do. Page of Swords. Yeah, this is the Page of Swords. And I find this very interesting, that the current theme is the King of Swords, and what we are asked to do is portrayed by the Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords is a card of newness. It's all of the pages have this energy of the novice, of the student. So Hekate is really asking us to sit on our butts and really pay attention to the stories that go inside of our minds constantly, our thought patterns, and really learn about ourselves and our inner landscape. Why do we have those stories about ourselves? Hekate is urging us to sit down and really learn how to communicate properly. How can we shift those stories that we tell ourselves? And it's interesting because there's a progression from the page to the king. From one end of the spectrum, the king being the master of his domain, and the page being the new person that is trying to learn and get into the domain of the suit, meaning swords. So there's a line of progression here that's being portrayed by the cards. Excuse me. The next card is strengths and abilities that we possess in order to do this type of work. And here we have this card. This is the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is a card all about being confident in the way that we act, but also being confident enough to set boundaries and defend our position, to protect ourselves. So what you can do to make this whole process easier for you in shifting how you perceive yourself and how you portray yourself to the external world is to set boundaries in place and to be very serious with them, meaning that you should do everything in your power to defend what's best for you and your peace, basically. The next card is flaws and weaknesses that may prevent your progress from the page to the king. And here we have the Six of Cups. This is what the card looks like. The Six of Cups is a card typically associated with the past, with nostalgia, with your childhood and emotional experiences that were present throughout this time in your life. So you are carrying a lot of unprocessed emotions from your formative years, and this is your weakness. This is something that will prevent your progress if you don't address it right now. So this is something that you should really pay attention in this type of work of mastering your thoughts and how you convey yourself in the external world and the stories that you tell yourself, about the world, etc. Our thoughts are very powerful, and once we have control over them and how we speak to ourselves in here, we can do pretty much anything externally. So what will hinder your progress is the Six of Cups. So maybe do some internal work around the emotions and the negative stories that those emotions created in your mind from your childhood. The next card is the help that will be provided from Hekate to assist you in this journey. And here is the card that we got, the Hanged One, or the Hanged Man. This is very interesting because the Hangman is a card of suspension, of a forced break, if you will. So Hecate is saying here with this card that she will make sure that you have the time and the space and the container that you need to process all of those things and to actually work through your issues. She is going to make space for you to do those things. The last card is the advice and the parting message that Hecate has for all of us. And we have this card, and this is the 10 of coins, or the 10 of pentacles. And this is very beautiful because Hecate gave us the 10 of pentacles last week as well. And this is very interesting that we have a repeating theme here. So the advice here is that we should really focus on what we do with our lives. And if we do our internal work, if we work on ourselves in order to become the best version of ourselves, we will leave a very beautiful legacy behind. We will have a deeply meaningful life, and we will leave a worthy legacy after we are gone. So the advice here is focus on your legacy. Work on yourself, on your traumas. Do some ancestral work, meaning the things that you inherited from your parents, your grandparents, your lineage, in terms of thought patterns, the way that you perceive your feelings, and really try to heal the aspects that don't resonate with you and how you want to move through the world, how you want to live your life. So you need to do some ancestor work in that capacity, and also focus on improving yourself, setting healthy boundaries for yourself, processing emotions from your past, not really paying that much attention to your ego, because at the end of the day, your ego in a spiritual sense is how you perceive yourself. And if you want to change your life, you have to first change how you perceive yourself. So dismembering your current ego and creating a new sense of identity for yourself, mastering how you speak to yourself, how you convey yourself in the external world. And Hecate is going to help you through this whole process. She's going to create a container and a time for you to reflect on all of those things. And yeah, so this is the message that she is getting here for all of us as a collective. And I just want to pull an oracle card to finish off this reading. And let's see. Okay, Hecate, is there anything more that you want to add to this reading, to this message? Dreams. She's saying with this card that you should really focus on your dreams, your desires, and maybe go back to your childhood. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grow up? And start from there. Pay attention to your dreams and don't disregard them. It's not useful to go through life without having dreams, inspirations, and maybe be a little delusional. You don't need to be logical 100% of the time, every day, every single second. Give yourself permission to dream and to imagine what your life can look like if you achieve those dreams. And this is a very important work. This is a very valuable part of the spiritual journey. And yeah, that's everything that Hekate is wants me to say as to this reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this was useful. Tell me in the comment section down below what are your thoughts and feelings about the things that we just discussed. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, to finish up, I just want to say that if you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, that's available on my Ko-fi page. I also have a membership program space also on my Ko-fi page, and I'm also a deck creator on Make Playing Cards. All of those things will be linked in the description box down below for you to check out. And I also released a free tarot course here on YouTube for anyone that wants to learn the cards but is a total beginner. This course is going to get you started on reading straight off. So please do check that out. It's also linked in the description box down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Take care.